Hey friends, happy 2022. We're back.
Happy New Year, everybody.
It is January 1st. A little tired.
Yeah, a little tired. Too much partying last night.
If you call it board games with the kids partying.
Right.
So if you've been with us for a while, and maybe have seen our last, I don't know how many videos, we talked about possibly doing a protein sparing modified fast. That was supposed to start in October. I tried to get a book from the library and I still haven't received it. It was an interlibrary loan and I don't think it's happening. So I said, okay, we're gonna hold off and we're gonna go through the holidays, status quo, and start January 1st. So here it is, January 1st. I've picked out some recipes in preparation for this. I went super simple and just picked out 7 recipes, dinner recipes, that we're just going to repeat for the entire month of January. Real quick edit here. We have another video that is basically ready to go. I just need to finish editing it. It took place back in October, I think, maybe September. I can't remember now at this point because it's been so long. It's a review for Keto Crisp bars. Just wanted to make sure everybody understood that we are not eating those right now during this fast thing. Is from a couple months ago, but would love to know your opinion on those if you've tried them. We're gonna do it for at least the month of January and see how it goes. We did start keto with the thought of we were just gonna try it for a month, and here it is 3 years later. So I mean,
Might be
I don't
something
know.
we build into the routine. I don't think you're supposed to do it long term, but
No.
we
This
bring
is
back.
technically a diet. The protein sparing modifying fast is a diet. It is not a lifestyle.
Yeah, not like
It is
keto.
not sustainable. I will tell you, I struggled a lot earlier today. Why am I getting emotional?
But it's only telling as to why it's challenging. So when we first started doing keto, it was hard, right, guys? Like, it's not easy changing
I feel
what
like
you
it was
think about
easier to
everything.
do that than it is this.
Well, the reason it is for that is because I did most of the work, honey. And this time you're doing most of the work. And so it's kind of a lot of stuff that I had to regurgitate to Stacy over the time in which we started and everything. And we were really successful with that. Like, we did amazing. Better in the beginning. Stacy had problems early on keeping track of macros and stuff like that.
I think that's my biggest issue.
Yeah.
It just starts me on a spiral.
It starts you on a spiral to reach toward your stuff.
No, it starts me on a stress spiral. So then it's like I was saying earlier, I get paralyzed and I don't know what to do, and I didn't even eat anything until 2:30.
Know that, yeah. All right, so if you've never heard of this, what is it again?
Protein sparing modified fast, or PSMF.
A lot of fancy stuff. But in the short version is that you're still restricting your calories, you're restricting your ratios as it relates to fat is going to be much severely restricted as opposed to the ketogenic diet. And you're increasing your proteins into a way that is supposed to let your body use the existing fat. So it's not really good for people who are already kind of skinny to do this because there's not like the health benefits like keto in general. But for doing this, it's really what you're trying to do is force your body to use the fat cells that it's already collected. And you do that in a couple ways. So you do that by increasing your proteins and reducing your fats, but you also go into like a fasting mode where it
mimics fasting.
It mimics what a fasting actually exists, even though you're still eating, if that makes any sense. I don't know if you get the autophagy properties or anything like that, but I wouldn't think so because you're actually eating stuff. So you're basically just increasing your proteins and letting your body use the fat you already have for fuel, and this is a technique used in which to do that, which includes 3 shorter or lesser calorie, more calorie restricted, more fat restricted days, and then you have your 3 or 4 normal days.
Yeah, we were kind of learned about this through a few YouTube videos. Of course, Marie Emmerich is the most well-known for this, and she doesn't recommend any more than 3 protein-sparing modified fasts a week. but we also watched a video of Thomas DeLauer, and there was another one. It was a new guy. I can't remember what his name is. Neuro something, keto, neuro, I don't know. He's a doctor. So that's kind of where we learned that information from. We're not super, like, what do I want to say, knowledgeable outside of that. Obviously, we're not doctors. This is just our experience. So if you're really looking for the science of it and the information, the hardcore information, please go out and do your own research. Don't go based on exactly just what we say.
Or do. Because our macros are calculated for us.
Right.
And us alone, right?
Right. Speaking of macros, so we have, for the last, I don't know, what's it been, almost 2 years for this stupid pandemic, really just been focusing on mental health over anything else, keeping it keto, but not paying any mind to how many of this and how many of that we're having in a day. And again, if you've been following us for a while, you know I haven't tracked my macros since about 3 months after we started.
6 months, yeah.
6 months, something like that. I stopped very early on. And in the last year and a half, almost 2 years, I've gained back about 30 pounds. I mean, from my lowest, which did squeak under 200 for a second. And then, Greg, you've gained back?
Yeah, I've gained about 25 pounds back. And I actually was still losing at the start of the pandemic. But then as things, and I continue to do so, for a bit longer. But then that whole concept kind of set in, just trying to study with your mental health and keep focused on that, and so yeah, I mean, I kind of stopped tracking shortly after Stacy did, but more effectively, like my sugar, alcohol, and fiber counts and all that stuff. I just didn't pay too much attention. It says keto, I'll eat it. I don't really, but I think the biggest problem that we have is that we have gone back to something we've always probably done prior to keto in general, and that is using food as a way to substantiate the emotional state. So like getting us an endorphin rub,
eating,
stuff like that. I mean, Stacy says, stuff like being crunchy and eating something crunchy or sweet or salty or blah 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 blah. Obviously the cravings are all there. So we're still under 50 carbs a day without any issues. Even with all the extra stuff, like net carbs, right? Like, so it really depends on some of those things. I'd have an ice cream bar, I'd have part of a Lily's bar, I'd have, a cookie that Stacy made or whatever. We would do keto dishes where we're not adding any sugar or pasta or anything. Any of the big things, right, that we're not doing. And, you still gain weight, guys. Also, Stacy and I both work from home. It's been a very sedentary 6 months, 9 months, year
and a half, 2 years.
So we can definitely do better on that too. But it's just, this is sort of our way of getting back to the basics of our discipline that we started with doing keto to begin with.
Yeah, I feel like the reason why I say that I think we'd probably only do this for the 30 days is I feel like we just needed some kind of regimen, some kind of strict thing, just kick our butts back into what we're supposed to be doing instead of just,
you drift, right?
It's playtime for the dogs.
Yeah, evidently. So you drift, you start doing what's easy and comfortable, and keto becomes that way, and you get a routine of things that you consume, and then that routine slightly adjusts to accommodate a snack or a meat stick or anything else that kind of triggers that, and the next thing you know, you're eating all day. And even if you are fasting, your body has already kind of gained the benefits from the recuperation of that effort put in, and unless you are able to get those things back down, those macros, calories, all that stuff back down, you're gonna gain weight, guys, if you're not like really pushing yourself physically. So that's kind of the reason why we are going forward with this. We wanted to see how experiment with it, see how it works for us, get us back to the basics, and hopefully regain that weight loss, that lose what we've gained back. Which, to be clear, although you can gain weight on keto, the whole concept of it came back much more slowly than if we completely went off keto altogether.
Yeah,
right?
so, that's true.
So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. Like, it was a matter of over a year that we ended up gaining some of this weight back.
Mm-hmm.
We could have probably approached that differently and done more of a maintenance keto, but we weren't ready to stop losing weight. We just mentally kind of got exhausted.
So with our current weight and our macros, the funny thing is we weigh just about the same, right around 230. And my macros are way different from Greg's for some reason.
Yeah,
it's probably one of those things that men can lose weight easier.
Maybe that's what it is.
All that
so we
bullshit.
Can eat more. I don't know. It's weird.
Anyway, I'm a little jealous.
She is.
So
I think it's probably just the male frame is probably considered to be more muscular. Your dog wants your attention. And I'm guessing it's probably because of the muscles, or maybe it's with the body ratio. I forget what it is, but
I suppose.
Could be.
I mean, the one thing that is the same across the board, no matter what day it is, total carbs are 10. And when they say total carbs, it's not subtracting the fiber for the net carbs. You can if you use stuff that, like if you make something that uses any kind of sugar alcohols in it, you can subtract that. But you just can't subtract the fiber.
Yeah.
So there's a little twinkle.
So we'll put them up on the screen. Mine $17.99 calories. So that's my goal on days that I'm not quote unquote fasting. Right.
Yeah.
So and then the fats for that 117, proteins 176, obviously total carbs 10. So the difference is it's about 70% of those numbers, not even. Two things. One, you intake less calories, so 1170 calories
fasting day.
on the fasting
or
days.
Or as Emmerich calls it, the pure protein days, which I actually kind of like that better.
Yeah, it's nice because in that case, you're going with 30 grams of fats, which is not very much, guys.
No.
And then that's for a whole day. And then proteins 215. So you're really like going super lean meat during those type of periods of time. Pretty much just eating chicken breast, I think.
Like
Maybe
super
tuna.
lean chicken, any poultry, any kind of fish. If you like fish, seafood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people like seafood. This is perfect for them. People like us that don't
like fish.
like a lot of seafood.
Specifically fish.
Well, fish, scallops.
Shellfish is pretty fatty.
Shrimp.
Shrimp's pretty fatty.
No, they mentioned shrimp in their video.
Interesting. Anyway, Stacy's numbers.
So on my non-pure protein days, my calories are 1285, fat is 90, and protein is 108. On the pure protein days, my calories are 838, 30 fat, just like him. So I think that's a max for anybody is 30 fat, and 132 protein. So it's up about 25 grams of protein, which is a heck of a lot less than yours.
Yes.
Because you have a 25 almost right there. You're like 40 difference a day.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's a lot of protein. And the intent is there for your body to put itself in a situation where it's getting food, but it's using the fats that's been stored as opposed to protein. A lot of people say other things like it'll get converted to sugar or stuff like that. So there's a lot of science going back and forth in both different categories, which is always exciting when you're doing an experiment because you never know what side of the fence you're going to end up on, right? So,
True.
But anyway.
So those are our numbers. That's our goal numbers. We have discussed it, and if we don't hit them exactly, that's okay, because that's been my struggle bus for the day.
Yep.
Because that's what I was freaking out about.
Yeah.
The days that we decided we're going to do the pure protein days are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and then that leaves Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Success.
For the regular days. So with that, we are going to do weekly updates for the 30 days, I mean, they're basically, I mean, what's today? So like 4 total videos on this, 5 maybe, I don't know, something like that. And we'll let you know what we had for dinner. I mentioned the recipes that I found that I'm repeating every week, so it's going to get a little bit boring as far as that goes. Probably the only difference you'll see is maybe possibly in any lunches, but I don't know. Keeping it as simple as possible is what's going to help.
Yep.
Because I'm not a planner. So
Yep. Oh,
watch for that next video, and we'll share with you how the first week went, what we had, where we're at with our numbers.
that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Please click the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our videos when we do put them out. And as always,
Stay keto.
and we'll see you guys in the next video.
I tried to get a book from the library.
So we've been doing, but you're basically putting your body into